Hello and welcome back, watch aficionados and enthusiasts. Today we're entering the deep waters of luxury timepieces with a review of this Ulysse Nardin Marine 1602-100, which is the 160th anniversary limited edition with this stunning blue dial executed in 18-karat rose gold case and clasp. So, if you're the type who loves precision, nautical heritage, and the allure of exclusivity, you're in the right place. So, let's set sail. Ulysse Nardin was founded in 1846 by Mr. Ulysse Nardin himself. The Swiss brand initially made a name crafting high-precision marine chronometers. These beauties kept sailors on course long before GPS came into play. But Ulysse Nardin didn't stop at maritime mastery. They evolved into a powerhouse of mechanical innovation and elegance. Fast forward to today, the brand is part of the Kering Group, sharing a stable with the likes of Gerard Perregaux and Boucheron, Gucci, and so forth. Under the Kering stewardship, Ulysse Nardin has continued to push boundaries, combining tradition with avant-garde designs and cutting-edge movements. Their marine collection in particular stays true to its seafaring roots, balancing timeless aesthetics with a modern twist. Now, on to the star of today's show, the Marine 1602-100. With its captivating blue dial framed by a rose gold case. It's celebrating 160 years of nautical precision. This limited edition measures 43 millimeters in diameter, perfectly balanced for a statement wrist presence without screaming for attention. The case height is 12.8 millimeters, which lends it a nice balance between sporty and elegant, and weighing just right around 150 grams, you'll feel it, and weighing just right at around 150 grams, you'll feel its presence, but it won't drag you down. So it's somewhere in between average weight of a watch. Now, inside beats a UN 160 manufacture movement, a fitting homage to their 160th anniversary. This self-winding caliber is a work of art, boasting 50 hours of power reserve. And did I mention the in-house work? This is fully in-house. Ulysse Nardin takes it a step farther with their silicone escapement and balance spring technologies that set them apart in terms of precision and durability. The UN 160 has been praised by collectors for its reliability, running smooth as the sea breeze even after years of use. Speaking of reliability, owners report that the Marine series stands the test of time in both function and fashion. It's one of those watches that you won't need to constantly adjust or fret over. And here we can see that beautiful movement inside. Of course, heat-blued screws on both sides, actually, on the dial as well. Released in 2006 to make the 160th anniversary of the brand, the Marine 1602-100 was produced in several variations, including different dials and case materials. But the blue dial and rose gold combination is arguably the most striking. So what's the damage? For a new piece, expect to shell out around $18,000 to $20,000 depending on the dealer and availability. On the pre-owned market, prices hover between $14,000 and $16,000. Given its limited edition status, the value tends to hold steadily, making it a relatively sound investment in the luxury segment. Maintenance costs are in the line with what you'd expect for a high-end timepiece. Routine servicing can set you back anywhere between $600 and $1,000 every 5 years. But let's be honest, if you're in the market for a watch like this, a few $100 every few years isn't going to break the bank. Let's mention a couple of similar alternatives. If you're looking for something similar within the Ulysse Nardin family, consider the Marine chronometer 1183-126. It's slightly less adorned, but offers the same DNA of precision and elegance. Another great pick is the Marine Topelier 1183-310, which is a more modern look with a leaner profile. From other brands, you can look at the IWC Portuguese chronograph. Stands out as the direct competitor. It combines maritime inspiration with chronograph function. For a touch more grandeur, check out the Blancpain 50 fathoms bathyscaphe, a diver's watch that pairs ruggedness with sophistication. And finally, for those who prefer a bit more flair, there is the Breguet Marine 5517, a watch with deep nautical roots and a stunning guilloche dial. So in conclusion, who is this watch for? The Ulysse Nardin Marine 1602-100 is for the discerning collector who appreciates history, innovation, exclusivity, all wrapped up in a package that's eye-catching as it's refined. It's a piece that can transition from boardroom to boat deck without skipping a beat. So if you're looking for a watch that not only tells time but also tells a story of 160 years of mastery and maritime legacy, this might just be your perfect match. So as promised, I will be taking all of the watches that I review on the channel under the scrutiny of about 1000 magnification, just to see how clean the workmanship is, precise proportions, etc. But before we do that, I'd like to go over just a few visuals that I noticed while inspecting the watch. And this is not immediately evident. You have to pay attention. You see how the entire case is curved this way, right? It's not a flat case like most of the watches that we're used to. So we have sapphire on top and on the bottom, flat sapphire, but it's not flat. That's what I'm trying to show, is that the sapphire follows on both sides. It follows the contour of the case. So if we look at it, you should be able to see from here as well. You see how from this side it is a straight glass, but if we look at it from this side, it is rounded. Same goes for the underneath. And I have to say, this is great attention to detail in terms of the design language. What that does, obviously, is it helps contour, helps the watch contour around your wrist, and it sits way more comfortably than a flat caseback would. And that follows again on the top. So this is just the design language of the watch. Also, if you look at it from the top, there is no loomed indices, right? It's just your Arabic numerals, and you don't see the loom, but the watch is actually loomed on the indices. You see on the rehaut the loom is the holes are drilled, so this is not just applied, the holes are drilled and then loom is set inside. So even though this is not the strongest loom that you'll see, it is quite functional. We have this Ulysse Nardin is known for these enlarged date complications. That's something that they do. We have a signed crown with the Ulysse Nardin logo, and then here it says 432, number 432. So this is a limited edition, obviously. The watch does come on a couple of different options in terms of the strap. Here we have this beautiful natural leather strap stitched with this blue stitching, which contrasts beautifully on the blue dial. A couple of words that I wanted to mention about the clasp. Again, the clasp has great attention to detail. The execution is flawless. Everything clicks very smoothly. So this is a push click, where this is deployed through these two buttons here. So that moves, as you can see, this mechanism, and that's what I want to talk about. On this push side, so it opens up like, this is called the butterfly clasp, right? So it opens up like a butterfly, and here we see a bowl, a ceramic bowl that has been inserted, and on the other side this is countersunk. So when we click, these two ceramic bowls click into place. I'm sorry for the zoom. There we go, that clicked into place, and you can see that tiny ceramic bowl over there, right? Yeah, the white ceramic. Now ceramic is significantly harder than the soft gold, of course, but that should be spring loaded, and because it is spring loaded, it won't probably rub off as much, and it should work for a while. In contrast though, on the other side, you see these little ears that the mechanism has, so those things catch onto here, onto this section right here, and that means we're dealing right there. You push this button, you push this button, and there we go. Now this is gold against gold, and both are very soft metals. This is very good that it's not just by friction, but it is deployant, so there should be no significant wear on this part. But I mean, I understand this is luxury and they wanted to go with all gold, but from this very brand we have a better solution in such cases. So it wouldn't be a new thing for this. Is also a Ulysse Nardin diver. Same principle. You see that ball on that side, and we see button deployment on the other side, right? There we go. But and this is also a fully gold watch. You should have seen a review of this on the channel. But the thing is, they've used titanium for the clasp and the inside of the clasp, and they used 18 karat gold on the outside, and that way, you know, so that goes down first and then this clicks in. That way you know that this is lifetime, it will never wear out. Whereas on this example, you might have to send it in sometime for servicing, and of course the brand will take care of it under the warranty, or probably even after the warranty period expires. I've only heard good things about the after sales and customer service of Ulysse Nardin. Now, also because this is a gold case, gold watch, you will have plenty of scratches. You see these tiny micro scratches. Again, that's normal for a gold watch. The owner does not wear this watch very often because it is a more of a dressy timepiece, but he does wear it. He did say that he wears this more regularly though, and he's worn it quite many times within the 17-18 years of ownership. These watches are approximately of the same age. Yeah, beautiful. So let's take this down to the microscope, and that there tells us the year of founding, the year of make of this specific model, which calculates the 160 years of operating. So this says limited to 500 pieces. Water resistance is only 50 meters, so do not take the watch diving, obviously. Okay, let's look at the microscope. So we'll start off at the top of this bezel, right above the 12 o'clock, just to quickly look at the level of scratching on the 18 karat gold. And again, as I said, this has not been worn as a daily driver. It has been worn on special occasions, but again, I mean, 18 karat gold, very soft. You see tiny scratches, slightly larger gashes as well, but yeah. So if we start inspecting from the top, 12 o'clock index, let's zoom in. Quite crisp. This is gold, applied golden indexes. Then we have this section that is difficult to see from the microscope, but this has a wavy pattern. On the right side here we have that iconic enlarged date complication, and each, as you can see, has its own frame window, each number. We move down, we see that everything, this layering of the dial is done to perfection, and this is actually not printed. It's cut out of this probably white gold. It must be some sort of precious metal. And it's done very well. This is handwork, it's not machine milling. So for handwork, this is beautiful. Then we have printing, blued screws, and then printing of 1846 and 2006, which makes that 160 years. I noticed this brushing is rather rough, and that surprised me. And you can even see some of the ink following those brush lines. No, very crisp. This is not noticeable, obviously, with your naked eye, but it is there. Chronometer certified. Again, this is also printed. Same issue, just a bit of a coarse brushing on that metal. Here we are looking at the hour hand, done very crisply. But then this thing is very noticeable, and this is noticeable with your naked eye. I initially thought, before I put this under the microscope, I thought that this was fingerprints from the watchmaker just holding the arrows, the handset, without gloves on. But now I'm not sure that this is a fingerprint. This is gold, so it should not be rusting. This does not look like dust particles either, so I really don't know what this is, but it is disappointing to see. I asked the owner specifically whether this watch has been sent in for some sort of service anywhere, and the response is negative. He has never sent this watch in, so this is after 17, 18 years of ownership, it accumulated this much, or it had this much. But the thing is, it's illogical. So if this is dust particles accumulated over the years of the movement operating, why did it not spread evenly across, right? That's what does not make sense. So this is extremely disappointing to see that Ulysse Nardin would let this watch out to the end customers without inspecting. And as I said, you do not need a microscope. This issue is visible with your naked eye. There is some, as you can see here as well, like this is not brushed or polished. You can see these tiny scuff marks. They do not look like dust particles. Now here it is spread evenly, so it's more believable that this may be dust particles. I'm quite sure they're not, but this is an even spread and it makes sense. But here this defies logic. As I said, if you have dust particles here, they should be evenly spread out, and not only on the handset but also on the dial itself. I have not noticed a single blemish on the dial anywhere. It's flawless. So again, dust particles then would be spread out. This is a dark dial, blue dial, and they would be visible, and nothing is visible. Same applies to the indexes. Let's look at the indexes and how much dust particles they may have. Very little. That may not even be dust particles, but just a blemish in polishing. Same here. No dust, as you can see. Same at 11. Let's look at our 12 o'clock. Try to zoom in. Yeah, we don't see any dust particles on these indexes. We have these white numerals underneath. That's the date. We would also see some dust here, which we don't see. So yeah, that must be a blemish during the assembly of the watch, I think. Okay, enough of the front side. Let's now look at what is the true beauty of this watch, which is the in-house movement, 50-hour power reserve, the screws. I must say the screws holding the case back are extremely tiny, microscopic screws, very small. I mean, look at the print. You can imagine that's a tiny print, and we have the same size screws holding down the case back, so that 50-meter water resistance is not a promise. Take that with a grain of salt. That's 50 meters, it says. Yeah, tiny screws. Now that is the winding wheel. You can see the heart beating underneath. The balance wheel, I'll come to the balance wheel, but first I'd like to inspect the balance wheel and the 160 anniversary logo. Yeah, that seems to be done quite cleanly. Crisp, very good, no issues there. Again, blued screws, and that is 22 karat white gold. So the case is 18 karat yellow gold, and this is 22 karat white gold. Let's try if we can zoom in underneath there. That's also a blued wheel, that's not painted. And this movement has 52 joules. Here we go, 52. You can see 52 joules. So that's one blued wheel. We have another one down here. That's our balance spring, very even spread. That's quite impressive. Look at how evenly the balance spring is spread. That's what gives us the precision. Chronometer certified. Yeah, I mean the back side, the movement is done to a very high standard. We don't have the chamfered and the polishing like you would see on a Patek, but for what you pay in this watch, this is very good machining. Now I noticed this, I wonder what that is. Oh, that should not be there. So I'm gonna show the watch owner some of this gunk in here. I don't know what that is, but it is not supposed to be here. So he does need to send it in for servicing so that it gets all cleaned up. Let's go around the circle, see if that gunk repeats anywhere else. No. Yeah, it was only that spot. So, somewhere close to here. Right there, yeah, found it again. Yeah, that's not supposed to be there. That should be cleaned up. You can see beautiful precision by Ulysse Nardin. Okay, that will be it for today's review. Thank you very much. I hope that you found the review interesting, and please like, subscribe, push that notification button so that you're notified when I upload more content like this. Thank you and have a good one.